Hello everybody and welcome back to Beatmaking 101. This is week 5 and today we're going to be making a full song from scratch. So I started by picking out a sample that I will be using today from the website that I showed you on episode 2, which is Looperman. So we are going to be using this sample that I picked, and I'm gonna let you take a little listen. And by the way, this video is gonna be completely unedited, just so you can kind of see, my workflow and what I do, and some tips and tricks or whatever. I'll try to explain to the best of my ability everything I am doing as I am doing it. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm gonna let you take a quick listen to this melody. I found it pretty easy, maybe to put some chords under it, or a little counter melody maybe. So here, I'm gonna play it right now. Alright, and that is the sample right there, and I think we can do some great stuff with this. So let's get right into it. First of all, I'm gonna try to maybe put a counter melody there, and I'm gonna open one of my plugins here called Omnisphere, and this is a VST. This is just a plugin that has sounds in it, so you can, instead of using the default plugins, you use a separate plugin that has more sounds or different types of sounds, etc., etc. Each VST is installed differently, so you have to kind of follow the manual that when you buy the VST. So yeah, I'm thinking kind of like a flute type deal. Maybe let's see if we can find some nice flute sound or something. Let's see. Maybe the sound. Let's try it out. Oh, actually, first I'm gonna try to create a counter melody. Just to have FL keys. Okay. Open this up and go to the piano roll. And just so I can hear this sample and what I'm writing or what I'm putting into the channel rack here at the same time, I'm going to click this and put pattern 1 here, because now instead of clicking here to hear only the channel rack, I can actually unclick and it will play this pattern 1. I'm going to go set it to bar and just drag this out for 4 and then copy it over like that. And as you can see, let's go back to the piano roll. I can play the beat here, and I can put these keys in at the same time. So just trying to hear them at the same time. So yeah, with samples you can't really use the chord trick. So I'm just gonna try to find notes that are in key with this sample. There it is. So these are the notes I'm going to be using. I kind of just did that by ear. And I'm actually going to use the same trick that I used before. By doing here, none, going to the piano roll, pasting these, and dragging it out like that. And I'm going to copy that and put that down to the next one like that, and up here. Cool. So now I should have a kind of outline where I can put some melodies in, or some notes in that'll be in the key. to uh, half beat here because that'll help me put some notes in the key. Or actually, let's do step instead. I'm gonna drag these out just so that they're the same length as the other notes here. I'm gonna select these and do Control B to copy them over. Make sure they're at the right spot. If this happens, you can just go into none here to line it up perfectly. I'm gonna zoom in here, and I'm gonna go back to step. Let's see how that sounds. I'm doing that by pressing shift and doing the arrow keys to move it up and down. That's good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go here and copy these notes, Control C, or you can Control X to cut them. And I'm going to go back into Omnisphere, piano roll, and paste those in. And now we can kind of listen to these, this melody with a different sound. I like that sound right there. That sounds good. Cool. I'm gonna actually go into the next melodic element, which is the 808. Like that right there. Just gonna see what key it's in really quick. Turn loop point off just in case. Edit. Click right here. Detect pitch regions, and we are in C. So I actually don't have to change anything because it's already in C. Go the root note, which I believe is G sharp, like that. And see how it's kind of, if you do multiple at once, sounds really bad. So I'm gonna go back in here to the wrench, cut self, and that'll fix that. Like that, see? So I don't like how it starts there on this note. I like how it sounds over here, so I'm gonna put it no, that's not good. That's it. that note, let's see how it sounds down below. I'm just doing control and down arrow. Duplicate him over, and now we won't be able to hear him just because this pattern is 4 long. So I'm just going to extend this pattern out, and now you can actually hear it over here. And it's not on beat, so I'm just going to grab them and move them. Oops. Move them just like that. Alright, cool. Try this 808 instead. Octave up, so I'm gonna find the next B. There it is. Turn that to a slide note. There we go. Maybe that will sound better over here, actually. I kind of like it over here. So I'm gonna move it down. So let's see here. I think that sounds good. Yep, I like that. Okay, next up we are going to be doing the hi-hats. So just add some rhythm to the beat here. I'm gonna start off really simple by doing 2 steps. Turn the volume down so too loud. Maybe do some cool So instead of adding it to a new channel like that, I overrided it. So I'm just gonna go back and find my hi-hat. There it is. Problem solved. Do 8 steps like this. But that's not what we want. We want every 16. So I'm gonna delete every other one like this. Just do it in the piano roll. Kind of like that sound there. Maybe something like that. That sounds kind of cool. I'm gonna leave it in there. It's a little think that sounds pretty good here. Maybe add a kick too. And I'm gonna make this kit follow the 808. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna grab this 808, copy it, go into the kick. There's another way to do it. If you notice here where the line starts, that lines up with this right there. So you can either do it by clicking in like this, kind of like where this line starts, and that's how I usually do it. The other way is to paste in your 808 and just move everything to the same line, just like this. Move these, go to the same line. You're gonna delete the slides, and then you're gonna move everything to C5, and that'll be those kicks will hit on the same beat as your 808. And actually, one secret trick you can do is select everything, and while your thing is your magnet is set to none, select everything. Shift. I'm gonna zoom in just so you can see it. You're gonna go Shift and right arrow. Oh, sorry, like not the best example. There we go. So originally it's like that on the beat right here, but if you do Shift and to the right, it moves them a tiny bit over, and that's enough for it to kind of stand out a little more. So that's a little secret tip you can use to make your kick sound louder. Cool. Let's turn down. Actually, I'm leaving it. That's fine. Maybe we can add a little chant. Let's go with it. Okay, that's a perfect example of how loop points are bad. As you can see, I've only clicked it in once, but you can hear it multiple times, and that's because it's looping. So if you turn off that, that'll fix your problem, and it's only going to play once. See how it's gone? Fix it. Cool. All right. Now that I have all these sounds in here, I don't need this guy anymore, and I don't need FL keys anymore. Cool. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drag all of these. So I'm going to click and hold, and you drag all the way down, and I want to move all of these sounds into my mixer. So you're going to make sure these are all selected in order. So go from the top down, just like that, and then you're going to go into your mixer. You can start at 1, start at whatever, right click, channel routing, and you're going to click on the second one here. Route selected channels starting from this track. And now, as you see, all of my sounds are in the mixer, and this is super helpful, super quick way to do it. So now if I play this beat, you're going to be able to hear, or you're going to be able to see each thing moving here. There you go. Cool. All right. Before we begin, as you can tell, maybe you can see it up here. The melody only extends this first part, and then it's gone over here. So to fix that, what we're gonna do, and also if I want to kind of, maybe I want a part where I don't want my 808, or where I don't want my kicks, or where I don't want my hi-hat. But what do? I can't like cut it out because it's all merged into one. So one trick you can do is click this down arrow right here, and you're gonna do split by channel. And what that will do is that it's going to split this big thing into each one of these. And now I can drag it out, and it's going to be, each one is going to be individual. So there I have my my melody, my chant, and then I have my kick, everything, and I can mute and add and everything I want individually. So this is how you are going to format your beat as well. So now let's say right here I'm going to take the hi-hats out or something. Or I don't want the melody, or I don't want the 808s, or I just want the hi-hats, for example. I can mute all the other things. So the split by channel trick is super helpful to do this. And since I want to hear all the sounds at once, this is how I can do it as well. So one trick I like to do before anything is to select everything. So you're going to control and drag to select all, and you're going to lower the volume to 0. And what that's going to do is it's going to give you kind of a basis, and then you can kind of raise the volume of each thing as it sounds good. Because before it kind of just sounded like everything was really loud and you couldn't hear some things and you could hear some things better. So I'm going to start playing. So it's playing, but everything is muted so you can't hear it. And I'm slowly going to raise the volume of each one to kind of mix it together in one cohesive, good sounding sound, I guess. That sounds about right. Let's see this melody. Like that. I'm gonna add some effects to my main melody, this one right here. So first of all, I'm gonna add an EQ just to see where the frequencies are. I'm gonna do the same thing for my second melody too. So this is the EQ for the second melody, kind of in the middle, right? And we're gonna go to the EQ for our main melody, kind of in the lower middle. So to give space, I'm actually going to lower these frequencies a little bit, and on this one I am going to lower them a little bit here. Just to kind of give more room for each sound. Now on my main melody, I'm going to add some reverb up the sides of the room a little bit. Delay will sound cool too. Let's try that out. That sounds cool. I like that. Kind of delay it. Nice. For the second melody, I am going to lower the highs a little bit just because it's a little too loud. Cool. I'm going to add a chorus just because I think it sounds really cool on some melodies. And I'm going to go through these arrows to kind of go through all these presets there are. I like that one right there. Perfect. I am going to show you one really cool plugin, and that is called Gross Beat. And Gross Beat is used really, really commonly in music production, especially for rap and trap music production. And what it is it kind of like a beat editor. So I'm gonna sound editor. So these right here mess with the time, and this messes with the volume. So we're gonna just make some basic ones here, just so you can hear. So kind of that stutter, maybe something else. Try basic 2. There's a repeat here and a stutter. So there's a lot of cool plugs you can do. Some of these are really, they don't sound that good. Like the complex ones usually don't sound that good. Let's hear this one. This is probably gonna sound really bad. A little too much. Too much. But the big part of Gross Beat that is used, I'm gonna switch through here till we get to, here we go, half speed. Half speed is really cool because it like it says, it cuts your kind of melody in half and it slows it down. So your melody is gonna go from this to this. I think that sounds pretty cool, and I'm thinking that could be kind of a good sound for the introduction. I think that'd be really cool to put that in the introduction. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave it on there, but I'm gonna turn the volume down here, so we're back to normal. And later on, I'm going to show you how to automate so that slowly this knob goes up. Or I guess it go down. So it go from this, and slowly it would go like this. You can kind of hear the original, and all of a sudden it goes back to this, like that. An effect like that, fully automated in your beat. All right, so we are done with that. Let's go into the drums here. The 808 is really key that you lower these higher frequencies, and I'm gonna go into here. I'm gonna maybe make this a little bigger so you guys can see it. So they're all color coded, right? And the right side is the higher frequencies, the left side is the lower frequencies. So we're gonna go for this 7 right here, which is the blue, and I'm gonna put my mouse over this kind of like sideways Y shape, and I'm gonna scroll down. I don't want that one. Nope, nope. There we go. That's the one I want. Where it kind of like a hail almost. And then I'm gonna put my mouse over the dot and scroll to it and make it sharper. And now I'm going to show you, I'm going to kind of take away the highs, and then you can kind of hear how that 808 sounds. I'm going to isolate the 808 sound, and I'm doing that by pressing Control and then clicking, and it's going to, that's the only one that's going to be turned on. So let's hear that. Because if you have too much in here, then that's going to make the rest of your beat sound really muddy. So you kind of want to keep it down over here. You can also raise the lows if you want to make it a little more intense, like that. There we go. That's cool. I'm gonna go to my kicks next. Let's see. There we go. One really cool trick you can do here is find a plugin called Soft Clipper. There we go. To make it punchy but not too loud. So we're gonna turn the threshold all the way up, and then turn the post down a tiny bit. And that's going to make your kicks really punchy, but not too intrusive either. Hi-hats, not much you can really do to them. Let's go to claps. I usually don't mess with the claps, hi-hats, or the chants. Sometimes you can put some reverb on the snares and stuff just to make it sound cooler. Maybe I'll put a reverb on this chant. Maybe a little bit of reverb. Like that. But other than that, you usually only want to mess with your melodies, your kicks, and your 808s. Sounding good there. Just chant down a little bit. Perfect. Now I am going to arrange this beat. So I'm gonna kind of move all these guys over here, and I'm gonna zoom out. So this melody, I kind of want this happening all the time, and I'm copying this over by pressing Control B, Control B, Control B. I'm gonna copy it all the way through our beat, just like that. Cool. All right. So maybe I want to start off with one bar of just the guitar, you know, and I think this would be cool to add that effect I was talking about, where it kind of fades in from the slow down version of the second melody to the original. So maybe we'll start with that, and then with this going on too, and maybe here's our drop right here. So here's when I'm bringing all the drums, and I'm just gonna hold the kicks. This is a pretty cool effect that I like to use to kind of delay the entry of the kicks to the next line. So I'm just selecting these, pressing Control B to copy them over. You'll see the effect it has when the kicks come in. So right here you're like, oh, this is a good beat, and then all of a sudden the kicks come in and it's a lot better. Go. So the last thing I'm going to show you how to do, I'm just going to copy this over like that. Maybe make an outro by kind of mirroring this over, like something like that. Maybe going like this. Perfect. Just like that. I'm going to go like that. All right. Cool. Wait, actually, let me cut this one short like that, and then move these guys over. Just because you want to usually work in fours. So if you're making the introduction 3 and then have your main BP4, and then cut out with 3 again. Something like that. This would be your introduction, your main part, and then your outro. I'm gonna show you how I was telling you about how to automate this this effect, and you can do that by see how it sounds like that, and as I turn it out, it's lowering the volume. So to automate that, you want to right click the knob and you want to do create automation clip, and you can usually do that with most of the knobs and stuff. So I can do it here too, create automation clip. You can even do it with like the master volume up here, create automation clip. We might do that too for this beat. I think that might be cool. So obviously the higher it is here is that's like 100%. You can kind of see it up here in the top left too. 100% it goes down to 0%. So 0% and our melody is going to sound normal. 100% is going to be slowed. So I'm going to start the beat off with 100%, and maybe over here I'm going to right click to kind of add a point, and I want it to stop being slowed here. So it's going to go something like this. And at this point it's going to go back to normal because I'm going from 100% down to 0. See right there. But that's a little too harsh. I don't really like that. So what I'm gonna do is I want to kind of add like a slope to kind of slowly ease into that change of melody. And right now you can kind of do it if you go like this and then like that. That's a really easy way to do it. If you want to be more precise, you can go to here and do none, and you can add like tiny little tweaks here to move the knob specifically. But for now, I think I'm just gonna stick to this right here, and let's see how that sounds. I might actually move it out to over here. Delete that point. Let's hear how it sounds. Like that. I think that sounds pretty cool. And I'm going to do the same thing over here. So I'm going to bring this down, put a point down right here. Oh, this is actually off. See how it's kind of empty? Good thing I caught that. Let me just check that these aren't off too. No, we're looking good here. Okay, I'm just going to copy these two over. Alright, so I'm going to put a point down right there. I'm going to delete it. There we go. Put a point down right there. And then put another point where I want to end. So maybe here I did it for like half of, so 2. So I'm going to do it for 2. So 1, 2. And I'm going to put it all the way up and then right click that to kind of put it back to normal like that. And then obviously I'm going to move this point up too. So now it's going to go from slow to normal and then back to slow at the end. So if I go back and turn everything on, this is what it should sound like. Actually, before we do that, I'm going to add a automation clip for the master too. Let's do that. So master volume, usually at the 80%. You can see it up top left when I hover over it. So if you want to make sure you can stay at that 80%, you want to right click here and do copy value. So now, like, say I mess up and I accidentally put this down here. Oh, but I want that to be at 80%. So instead of like doing like this and trying to get exactly 80%, you can just right click and do paste value, and it'll paste it to 80%. Cool trick right there. So if our main volume is at 80%, I'm going to maybe make a point. Oops, go back to my pencil tool. Make a point right there and put that up to 80%, just like that. And then maybe move this one down and kind of curve it up like that to kind of give it like a kind of a soup effect. And I'm going to do the same thing at the end here. So maybe I go here, paste 80%. Cool. Go down, a little bit of a soup effect. All right, and now you're gonna see it's kind of fade in, just like that. See how it's slowed. Just like that. There we go. That's a nice drop. Perfect. Sounds awesome. Love the sound of that. One thing you can do too to kind of make your drop a little more intense or epic or cool is you want to get a crash. And there's this one crash that I always use. There it is right there. That's my favorite crash. I'm going to turn the volume down because I know it's going to be loud. But let's hear the drop now with that crash. A little too loud still. There we go. Cool things you can do to kind of make your beat a little more interesting here. Sometimes I like to cut out the clap for the first part here. Let's see how that sounds. Some stuff you can also maybe cut out the hi-hat for the first part. See how that sounds. Kind of make your beat a little more interesting and more enjoyable to listen to. Just really quickly, I'm going to touch over how you would add vocals onto this. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to choose a new track in the mixer. Let's do track 12. I'm going to rename it really quick to vocal. Change the color to some yellow. That might be cool. There we go. What I'm going to do now is select here my in1 FL Studio ACO mono. And you can hear me double there, so I'm going to mute myself. But basically, like I taught you in the last tutorial, it'd be pretty much the same thing here. First off, you want to start off with an Edison. Just because it's, or actually, let's do Edison second. So, Edison, there we go. Cool. Or actually, we can keep it first. That's fine. I was thinking since the effects go from top to bottom, but that's all right. Let's see here. I can start off with a auto tune. Where is place? More plugins. Auto tune. You can use the pitcher too. That's the included auto tune, I guess, the default one. I believe this song is in G sharp minor, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. I'm right here. I'm gonna lower my volume just so it's not too loud. Let's see. I think that is correct. That is correct. Let's see. That seems right. All right. So like I said before, the effects that you'd want to use on your vocals here would be, reverb to kind of give more volume and more amplitude to your voice. And actually, let's just record something really quick here. I'm going to turn all my effects off to kind of get a raw vocal with this beat, and we're going to kind of spice it up a little bit maybe. Yeah. Whoa. That. And like I said before, you can kind of cut out the white noise. I know right here it's kind of gonna pick up the beat a tiny bit. Oh, I need to turn this back on. Just so I don't hear myself double, I'm actually gonna turn the input off now. Okay, turn that back on, and I should be able to hear it. Okay, so I'm gonna get the noise profile by right-clicking this, and then I'm gonna clean this vocal up like that, and click it again. Yeah, that's as good as we're gonna get. Just because I'm recording this tutorial, it's a little messy, but it is all right. So maybe we go over here. Yeah, whoa, yeah, yeah, whoa, yeah. Loop this part here, so I'm going to go to bar and control click and hold, and I'm going to loop that section right there so we can kind of listen as I'm working on this vocal. I'm turn the auto tune on first. That's going to help massively. I kind of want to sound a little more auto tuney, T-Painy like, so I'm going to leave the humanize to 0 and turn the retune speed up. Let's hear that. Yeah, whoa, yeah, whoa, yeah, Again, as in last tutorial, this is not a full vocal, but I would still always put the maximus on here, and the de-esser really makes those S sounds a little less harsh. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Whoa. There we go. Yeah. Whoa. You can also add a chorus onto your voice to make it sound a little cooler. Let's see, where is the chorus? There we go. Yeah. That's way too much. I'm gonna turn the volume knob down here. We're halfway. Yeah. Whoa. Just like that, sounded a lot better. And that was what, like 2 minutes. So this is how you would record your vocals. Usually you want to keep them dry and then put the effects on later, just because it's a lot easier to edit once you have a dry sample rather than having a recorded sample or a recorded vocal that already has tons of effects on it. Because here you can actually tweak individually what you want and stuff like that. So we went from, let's go listen to the original. I'll turn all these effects off. Yeah. Whoa. To this. Turn these effects on. Yeah. Whoa. Ton better. One more thing you can do to clear up the vocal, I think I forgot to do that, is lowering the lows and upping the highs a tiny bit. Let's hear how that sounds. Yeah. Whoa. Much, much better. And with that, that should be the tutorial done. So I just made this beat in what, around 40 minutes, and this is how you would kind of edit vocals if you want to sing over this or something like that. And yes, if you actually, I'm going to play the beat here completely just so you can hear it, maybe up to this point. And with that, the tutorial is over. Thank you so much for tuning in. This was Beatmaking 101, and I hope you learned a lot and you can go on to make your own beats from now on. Thank you so much for watching. I'm going to play the beat here, and goodbye.